Hey guys, welcome back to another one. This is Crypto Elite. In today's video, we are going to talk about the danger of paper Bitcoin. Now, this can be said for any cryptocurrency out there. It could be THETA, it could be Ethereum, but paper currency that's put on exchanges. I think the Bitcoin magazine, I'll link this in the description below, they did a really good job of summarizing some of the problems that have happened in the past, and they will continue to happen in the future. And spoiler alert, guys, if you have crypto on exchanges, now is the time to take that crypto and move it off of the exchange into a cold storage wallet, or even a wallet like Exodus or Trust Wallet, something like that. Just move it off of exchanges. Use the exchange as a tool, or else you could potentially end up like a Celsius, what happened to Celsius not too long ago, where millions of people, I think it was 1.6 million people, have their funds stuck on Celsius, or FTX that just went bankrupt overnight. All these things are because of what we are about to talk about. And like I said, Bitcoin Magazine did a great job of this, so thank you very much. I'll give them 100% credit. But it's the dangers of paper Bitcoin. And I won't read it word for word. I'll let you guys check this out. But in summary, the very beginning, they kind of talk about how normal people, or some people buy crypto and then just leave that crypto on exchanges because you think that these exchanges are very similar to Charles Schwab or Fidelity or some sort of normal US based stock brokerage. But as we've seen, they are not. They're far from it. So that's what this first bit is. And then they talk about when the trust disappears and the fall of FTX. So they kind of make it a very good transition into what happened. And it's all because of something called paper BTC or paper THETA or paper Ethereum. Like I said, it is when these exchanges, they take your crypto, your hard-earned crypto that you put on the exchange, and then they get smart with it, and I use air quotes with that one. So let's check it out. When users keep their Bitcoin on exchanges, the CEO and everyone maintains control over those coins. Customers simply just have a claim to their coins, but technically, the exchange owns your coins as soon as you transfer it to the exchange, which is pretty wild, but that's how it goes. So the CEOs, they start to get smart because they look at all the different cryptos that they have on their exchange, and it could be tens or hundreds of $1,000,000 worth of crypto that's just sitting there. And everyone gets a little greedy, or even they just want to make money on the money that they have. I wouldn't even call it greedy because myself, I saw the APY for I-bonds not too long ago. If you're US based, you understand those. It was at 9%, and that's for a treasury backed by the US dollar. So of course, I'm going to move some of my money and get something that's going to give me a 9% APY. So it's not always greedy, but it's just trying to take advantage of the situation at hand. So that's what these CEOs of large exchanges, they're doing the same thing. They're saying, hey, I have tens and hundreds of millions of dollars worth of crypto here. If I move those cryptos, and of course they're not going to move it into treasuries, they're going to do something degen with it and risk everything, but they could say, hey, I'm going to get 10% APY back on $100 million worth of crypto. Heck yeah, I'm going to do that. And that's what they've been doing. And they, as we see here, like I said earlier, the customer, as soon as you gave your money to that crypto, you no longer have control of that crypto anymore. It is now the crypto exchange's crypto, technically. So that is something that just happened. And then they go on to say, what happens when Exchange Corp lends out a large quantity of Bitcoins customers deposited? So a lot of extra Bitcoin starts to float around the market. And just because investors who think they're holding actual Bitcoins, they're only technically holding paper BTC. Now, what that means is there's only 21 million Bitcoin in existence. So let's say that there was 1 million Bitcoin on an exchange. I know it's a high number, but they are going to take that 21 million Bitcoin off of the exchange and then move it to something degen like Terra Luna, the UST, where they were earning 20% APY. But on your exchange, it still showed you having your balance of 10 Bitcoin on there. So now that 10 Bitcoin is technically just paper Bitcoin. It's not real. The real Bitcoin is gone into some other platform. And that is kind of how the price gets skewed, because instead of having 21 million Bitcoin in existence, now technically, because that exchange moved 1 million Bitcoin away, there's kind of 22 million Bitcoin in existence. And that is a big foul play. And that's what a lot of these different companies are doing. And it's not until they get caught in the act and things start spiraling out of control, much like Celsius, much like FTX just happened, that's when those 1 million Bitcoins that were no longer there, they're just paper Bitcoins, they disappear. And so does the customer's funds as well. And they don't really disappear, they just transfer value from one person to another person. And I kind of want to make that point clear as well. Money just doesn't disappear out there. And there's some estimates that FTX, this is the prime example of what FTX did, and they had about 80,000 paper BTC on its books that customers more than likely will never get back. Now they go on to talk an example about gold, and I really do like this example. Please check out this article. But this is exactly what happened to gold in the past. It was backed by the US governments and governments all around the world until the US decided to leave the gold standard, and that was around 1971. And all this is because the central banks and the large institutions for cryptocurrency, let's just say the large exchanges, if they control the mass share of cryptocurrency or gold or Bitcoin, then they can control what happens with it. Whether they just print out a bunch of paper gold or paper BTC, if the institutions are controlled, then they can make up the rules of what happens with that currency. And as we've seen with the gold standard, it'll probably debase it, and then they'll have to leave the gold standard and just start printing paper money. So that's a quick summary of this article. Like I said, I highly recommend you go check it out. In order to make this stop, I think there's some good initiatives out there. Chainlink is a perfect example of this. They can provide the proof of reserves. That is something that Chainlink does as an oracle to audit everything that's out there. Also, like I said at the beginning, check out your cold storage wallets, your Ledger or your Trezors. These are perfect tools to use to store your crypto. Do not store your crypto on large exchanges. So the last thing I do want to leave you with is just how crazy the crypto market has been in the past couple of weeks and months. But I am actually starting to take this time to average into a lot of different cryptos. So if you want to follow along with my journey of what I'm purchasing, I do have a Patreon. The link is going to be in the description below. If not, if you'd like to follow and like the YouTube channel, I would appreciate that highly, and I will see you guys on the next one.